So is Panic the next great YA adaptation, or should we panic about the quality of the... No. What is up, Flick fans? Welcome back to my channel. Today, as we always do, we're talking about the brand new movie or show on streaming. Today's show is Panic. Season 1 just dropped on Amazon Prime. Spoiler-free review. We're going to discuss it and talk about whether or not it lives up to the hype. And let's do it. So no one knows who invented Panic or when it first began, but in the forgotten rural town of Carp, Texas, the game is the only way out. So essentially every summer, the graduating seniors risk their lives competing in a series of challenges that forces them to confront their deepest fears for the chance to win life-changing money. Anyone can play, only one will win. Let the games begin. So you've kind of got a mixture of Hunger Games, the Divergent type thing. I'm sitting back thinking, oh, this could also have some escape room vibes. And then you get into the show and kind of the back half of the first episode, and you realize what these games are all about and how truly life-threatening this situation is. And I was on board, or willing to be on board at the beginning, because we're kind of going through the lives of the kids in these towns and how previous graduating classes have competed. Not all of them have made it through, but there have been some big prizes on the line. But this time, what we're witnessing is the biggest prize they've ever seen. Life-changing money, a life-changing amount of money, and we're kind of focused on our group of characters, whether or not they will survive this dire situation, and whether or not they will stay on the side that you believe they are on at the beginning. With something like this, a YA adaptation, you're going to have betrayals, love triangles, romances, things about it that feel a bit tropey, a bit cliche, but there's definitely that action-adventure feel in there. There's also a crime element. There are also, well, a handful of mysteries, and it's a drama. So it's like every genre ever. And I was worried and hesitant at the beginning, but I was willing to give this show a chance. And I will fully admit that I am not the target demographic of this show. So it's not necessarily a show intended for me. That being said, I am trying to take a step back and look at it for who it is intended for. And for that audience, I do think there is some enjoyment to be had. My issue with this show is that certain character decisions, certain moments where someone is about to do something and say something, and this could be immaturity, this could be just the writing in general, they'll do something, and I found myself constantly stepping back and saying, why are they making that decision? Why lead someone in this direction and then do that to them? And again, it could just be an age. I don't know what it was exactly, but it continued to happen. And after a while, it did start to wear me down. And I will fully admit that this is a show, and I try not to do this very often, where sometimes I would pull out the phone and I'd start to scroll through Twitter, and I'd have to stop myself saying, all right, Austin, you got to review this. You got to stay invested, or try to stay invested. It may not be the best binge, if that makes sense. In my opinion, it's more of a show that you watch episodically and then take a break. In episode 1, we start with our graduated seniors awaiting the kickoff from this year's judges. Now, the whole judge aspect of this show, that is a mystery in itself, as we're trying to figure out who these judges are and why these decisions are being made that are being made, and tensions are building as old friends become new competitors. A character by the name of Heather has sworn she will never play the game, but she may not have much of a choice here. And the episode title of this first one is Panic. Now, Heather is played by Olivia Welch, who does, in my opinion, a really good job as this character. Some of the acting maybe wasn't the best I've ever seen, but she is the appropriate person to have kind of lead us through this journey and this adventure. And you see all of these side players. You don't really know who you're going to be able to trust, who to trust at this moment. And that does add some tension throughout the series. Another issue that I have is the fact that we would kind of wait on all of the excitement and adventure for the back half, or sometimes the back 1/4 of the episodes, whereas prior to that, we're doing a little bit of this cliche character build-up and exploring things that, again, I'm just not all that enthusiastic about. So in that regard, I didn't really love what the focus of the show was, even though there is a lot of stuff present here that they could expand upon in a future season, that I would sit back and say, yeah, I'd be on board with that. But overall, Panic it's just kind of jumbled and scattered every now and then. And that's not me saying that a lot of people aren't going to enjoy what ends up being the focus of the show in the latter half of the season. And that was fun in itself, but it did take a bit to get there. What I was entertained by were the challenges, whether it be this trust fall or the joust or whatever had us kind of on the edge of our seat. And that's why you're watching this, is you're trying to see these challenges. Who's going to escape? Who's going to survive? Who's going to not survive this situation? And they did do a good job of keeping the tension set there. I wish there would have been maybe more of that, but it did make sense in the context of the situation. So I think my big question for you all is, are you fans of the source material here? Does it do it for you? And does it translate over to the big or small screen and give us a story that is more compelling? In my opinion, it could have been a bit shorter. Each episode could have been a bit smaller in length. That would have been more of a concise series. But there's still something here. Before I give you my score, thanks so much for watching this video. Drop your review down below. Let me know, do you agree? Do you disagree? Did you get more out of it than I did? Be sure to hit that thumbs up button. Panic has a difficult time finding its focus, and the YA tropes are abundant, but it has the potential to be a special series. That being said, I'm going a 50% for my score. There is something there, and I believe that's something they could continue to expand upon. It was just a bit up and down for me. At times, I was really into it. At other times, I wasn't necessarily invested. Regardless, the cast does a great job. The performances are really good. So I would like to know what you guys think. Thanks so much for joining me. Come back to this channel later on this weekend, and my reviews for Lucifer and Ragnarok are on this channel. And I just talked about the Friends reunion special. All right, guys, I'll see you soon.